Hi everybody, welcome to Lasting Impact 2023. I am Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic. I am the creator of the Brain First Protocol because if you put the brain first, your body will follow because brain first is a body freedom. And I want to start a mini series on my next few videos and talk about an article that was in the Atlantic in 2014. And this is Ezekiel Emanuel, and he is related to Rahm Emanuel, and he's up there in some very important healthcare positions in his career. I think he was part of a COVID planning committee, or not planning committee, but response team. And he wrote an article titled, "Why I Hope to Die at 75. This came to my attention a few weeks ago on YouTube on a CNN clip where I guess he was invited onto CNN to talk about what does he think. It's almost been 10 years since he wrote this article, and I guess he had a birthday where he's 62 or 65, I can't remember. So they invited him back on, and he reiterated, he says, yes, I still don't want to do any treatments at age 75, no more screenings, no, he's not going to pursue cancer treatment if he's diagnosed with cancer. He's not going to take a lot of what we would call proactive medical approaches to changes in health in older age. So I found that interesting. I should put in the link below that CNN interview. That was in January. And I have a lot of comments. And so here I am on my YouTube to provide those comments to you, because there's a lot of things churning up here when we talk about that. So how much treatment is too much treatment? When should you scale back on treatment? How should we approach our older age as we get to those milestones? And I also have another person wrote a follow-up article disagreeing, and I'm also going to read that and focus. I don't have it, it's over there. I'm going to also give my interpretation and opinion on that article. And boy, we're going to get some good discussions going. I think it's just an interesting way to look at your future. Like, I have certain ideas about how I want to live my life, and then there's the societal expectations, and then there's the medical approach, which they want to dominate everything. There is no one medical authority. People think there is, and the whole point of the book I wrote is about second opinions. There is no one authority, and please help yourself in that manner. Do not just accept things that are told to you. And I did. You do. And we shift gears when we reach a certain point, when we have experiences that do not jive with reality. And I went to college for how many years, and things I learned did not match up with reality once I got into private practice. And I decided it was time to sort that all out and just come up with my own approach. And you do the same thing. You do that every day of your life. You decide what to accept and what not to accept, and how much backlash do you want to deal with from society if you're being told, that's not the way you should be doing things. Why are you walking a different path? Why are you marching to a different drummer? Well, I thought that's what we were supposed to do in this country we live in, that we are here to live independently and have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And let's get to this article and see where it goes. And this is going to be chopped up into different episodes because my attention span may not be that long, and I've got appointments coming up. I got folks who are going to walk through that door shortly, so hang on, we're going to get to it all. But Ezekiel Emanuel wrote this in the October 2014 issue of The Atlantic, Why I Hope to Die at 75. An argument that society and families and you will be better off if nature takes its course swiftly and promptly. So that first sentence right there, you should die quickly and it shouldn't be prolonged. And I guess that's his thesis, and he's going to support it in his article. This preference drives my daughters crazy. It drives my brothers crazy. My loving friends think that I am crazy. They think that I can't mean what I say, that I haven't thought clearly about this, because there's so much in the world to see and do. To convince me of my errors, they enumerate the myriad people I know who are over 75 and doing quite well. They are certain that as I get closer to 75, I will push the desired age back to 80, then 85, maybe even 90. Now, in the CNN video that I had watched, the interviewer said that there's research showing that people are not as productive beyond age 65. Once they reach age 65, they're just not as useful to society. And so I wonder if he mentions that here, because I want to jump right in and say that's hogwash. That's hogwash. If you have a sense of mission, a sense of purpose, what does the milestone of turning 65 have to do with anything? Okay, so a lot of us retire at age 65. We slow down. Doesn't mean our brains have to slow down. It just means you're not working a 9-to-5 job where you're ruining your health, because yes, your work is bad for your health at certain times of your life, but you're not as productive as and important to society by age 65. I'm going to argue that. In 2014, he wrote this article. He was in his 50s. Now he's in his mid-60s. So he still has 10 more years to go. And they're going to ask him again when he reaches 75. So Ezekiel, what do you think about all this? I am sure of my position. Doubtless, death is a loss. It deprives us of experiences and milestones, of time spent with our spouse and children. In short, it deprives us of all the things we value. But here's a simple truth that many of us seem to resist. Living too long is also a loss. It renders many of us, if not disabled, then faltering and declining, a state that may not be worse than death, but is nonetheless deprived. It robs us of our creativity and ability to contribute to work, society, the world. It transforms how people experience us, relate to us, and most important, remember us. We are no longer remembered as vibrant and engaged, but as feeble, ineffectual, and even pathetic. There's a lot to really unpack here, and I'm sure everybody has gone through a period of time where they've watched their elder relatives decline. And does that change how we feel about somebody? I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I remember my grandmother. If you listened to or watched my new member orientation video, I talk a lot about my grandmother. I was a teenager. I didn't like the road she was going down, but I didn't change my opinion of her. I didn't turn around and despise her. I loved her. She was an awesome grandmother. I felt bad that I could not enhance her life at better than what I was doing as a teenager. Loving my grandmother. I helped her a lot. I helped her dress, I helped her with her pills, and I kept her company. I did not change my opinion of her. I just knew that she was suffering. There was a point She was suffering, and I wanted to take that away from her. So did I feel like she wasn't contributing to society? She wasn't contributing to the world? I disagree with that. I totally disagree. By the time I reach 75, I will have lived a complete life. I will have loved and been loved. My children will be grown, and in the midst of their own rich lives, I will have seen my grandchildren born and beginning their lives. I will have pursued my life's projects and made whatever contributions, important or not, I am going to make. And hopefully I will not have too many mental and physical limitations. Dying at 75 will not be a tragedy. Indeed, I plan to have my memorial service before I die, and I don't want any crying or wailing, but a warm gathering filled with fun reminiscences, stories of my awkwardness, and celebrations of a good life. After I die, my survivors can have their own memorial service if they want. That is not my business. So remember Logan's Run when everybody was age 21? Age 21, that was it. You were done. And I don't remember much about it. It was I think I read the book, and I don't remember if I watched the movie. It wasn't a made-for-TV movie, but you think about it, that's just kind of twisted thinking. It's not up to us, it's up to God, really. And I have a very strong faith life, and I really believe it's not up to us. God puts us here. He wants us to fulfill a mission, and I think we should have that energetic mission mindset no matter how old we are, because as you get older, you get wiser. As you have more experiences, you have a lot to share to the younger generation. Why do we put a limit on that? He sort of is and he sort of isn't. He's just saying, when I reach 25, I've reached the peak. And I got to continue reading the article, but let's see what else he has to say. Let's do it in the next video, because I'm already into 12 minutes, and I will pick up where we left off, where he says the memorial service after he dies is none of his business and he doesn't care. All right. I hope you like the video. Like it, subscribe, share it, tell people, and look for the next video. Thanks for watching.